and welcome to National Focus for Wednesday, July 17, 2024. I am Aaliyah Martin. The headlines: Prime Minister Skerrit leads advocacy against climate change. Health Minister refutes claims on medication shortage. And Prime Minister Skerrit optimistic on regaining visa-free entry to UK. The details of the headline stories and more when we return.
Ride safe, wear a helmet, safer roads in the nature aisle. This message was brought to you by the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Welcome back. Dominica continues to provide support to its brother and sister islands that were devastated by Hurricane Beryl. Last week, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit joined other prime ministers on a damage assessment mission to Grenada, and on Tuesday he arrived in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to do the same. Prior to his trip, he pledged a contribution of $1 million to assist in the recovery efforts of the affected islands. While the Caribbean nations continue to demonstrate solidarity with each other, the response from the international community has been lacking.
I am very upset with the international community, with the developed world, for their reluctance in taking on their responsibility in a serious manner. We have been speaking about the issue of climate change and its negative impact on our society, our lives, our livelihoods for many decades now, with a recognition of their responsibility, but not a fulfillment of their promises.
Climate change is wreaking havoc on the Caribbean, posing existential threats to the region's society and creating a devastating chain of disruption. Prime Minister Skerrit has long been an advocate for increased awareness about this crisis.
Have to mobilize the resources required to restore lives and livelihoods. And as we always say, this is a war that's taking place. But we did not provoke the war, but we are suffering the consequences of the war. I have said I have no difficulty if a country decides that it wants to mobilize billions of dollars for Ukraine, which is fighting the war. But what about us, who are subject to a war that we did not provoke? How is St. Vincent going to raise these monies to restore lives and livelihoods?
Crises like climate change are unfortunately setting small island developing states 10 steps back in their development as efforts are diverted to recovery after being hit by a hurricane.
When I look at our debt profile, 85% of our debt now on our books have been in response to natural disasters. And to replace damaged infrastructure. And I want to say to us in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and of course the wider Caribbean, that we must not continue to see our advocacy only being the responsibility of the Prime Minister and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The issue of climate change and its impact is affecting every one of us but we are not hearing the voices of advocacy from the various sectors of the society.
Prime Minister Skerrit also assured the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines of his confidence in the leadership of their Prime Minister, the Honorable Ralph Gonsalves.
I will not be making a political statement to say that you're fortunate at this time to have Prime Minister Gonsalves at the helm of the government in the country, because he has the experience, he has the capacity, and very importantly, he has the international and regional connections to help mobilize resources during the most difficult time confronting the world now.
A subcommittee of Prime Ministers has been established to coordinate relief efforts, and Prime Minister Honorable Skerrit has volunteered to serve on the committee. The OACS Prime Ministers will continue to assess the disaster zones as a collective fight, and solidarity from the Caribbean community is needed to overcome the effects of Hurricane Beryl and build back better. The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services has refuted claims that the hospital is lacking sufficient or specific types of medication. Minister for Health Honorable Kasani Laville addressed these rumors, specifically debunking a statement that was made at a press conference on Monday that the hospital was out of antihypertensive medication. A tour of the central medical stores on Wednesday morning revealed a large inventory of medication, providing evidence of the ministry's commitment to assisting and caring for the people of Dominica.
There's a deep and profound sense of danger that lies in these allegations. And what we certainly need to do as a ministry is to ensure that the public has that sense of confidence that we as a ministry, as a government, we value healthcare and we value the healthcare outcomes of our entire population. And I fact-checked with a text to the acting manager of Central Medical Stores, Mrs. Aaliyah Shillingford, right here next to me. And I received immediately in a message 11 categories of antihypertensive medications.
The minister is calling on the public to have confidence in Dominica's healthcare system and to refrain from spreading and believing rumors that are circulated on social media. The minister emphasized that these rumors are unfounded and have no basis in reality. Government is committed to investing in healthcare as the health and well-being of citizens remain a top priority.
A lot of work is going into this. Last year, over $70 million was allocated in the budget. And this year, there's an intention to increase by possibly a further $10 million for materials and supplies for the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Social Services, because we value healthcare. We understand clearly that human beings, people, are behind. They are the drivers of the productive sectors in Dominica, and we must ensure that our people remain healthy.
The tireless efforts behind the scenes at the Central Medical Stores are truly notable. While they may not always be in the spotlight, the dedicated staff at Central Medical Stores are working diligently to ensure that the Ministry of Health's mission to provide quality health care to the people of Dominica is achieved.
We need to immediately depart from this sensationalism by focusing on what we don't have at times, and we must, acknowledge the many things that we have. And I'm satisfied today that what I'm seeing for the most part at CMS are shelves that are filled and shelves that are well packed, and I'm satisfied that the procurement, the management and the distribution of pharmaceuticals and medical supplies is improving. We are not perfect, but there's an absolute commitment from us here to continue to improve the services that are delivered by this department.
Supplies Management Officer for CMS, Mrs. Aaliyah James Shillingford, has supported the minister on countering the statements suggesting that there is inadequate medication available for patients, crediting her team's dedication for their success.
We have been working diligently to ensure that the Dominican public have as many of the healthcare commodities that they need in the quantities that they are needed. It is our responsibility to supply these items to our healthcare facilities on island, as well as other facilities such as the infirmary, prison, fire and ambulance services. And we have been doing an exceptional job so far. We have a team that is committed to ensuring that the mission of the Ministry of Health is fulfilled, where we are able to provide our communities, our people with efficient medicines.
Meantime, the OECS Pool Procurement Service has dispatched a team to Dominica for over 2 months now, working in partnership with the island nation to enhance their efficiency. As a leading agency specializing in pharmaceutical and medical supplies management, they are utilizing their expertise to support the ministry in delivering medicine at a lowest possible cost to citizens.
One of the strengths that Dominica has is that we already have good stuff. So we just needed to put the systems and processes together and have some documentation to be able to, for us to be able to see the progress that we are making. And we can report that even as we are coming this time for the assessment, we have seen quite some tremendous changes in terms of the activities that have gone into the CMS. We have found a happy staff. Our staff are very happy, they were welcoming. They are knowledgeable, and generally you look at the medical store, it's neat. You're able to identify what is where. Above all, we have noted that there has been very little stock out compared to the previous years that we had assessed. So from the past 2 days, we have really noticed that there is quite some changes in the central medical store.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit is optimistic in Dominica's ability to regain visa-free entry into the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom suspended visa-free entry for Dominicans last year after citing concerns with Dominica's citizenship by investment program. He says conversations on the matter with the relevant UK authorities have been positive.
We continue to work with the British government. We received a letter from the last Minister of Home Affairs, Mr. Cleverly, on this, and it was a very positive letter. There's one outstanding ongoing matter that we have to bring to some conclusion, and we're working on that. There's been some pushback from a legal standpoint, but I believe that we're going to be pushing a little hard on it. We'll be writing to the new minister to update her on what we have done and what we're doing, and to respond to the letter of her predecessor on this matter.
He explained that government has taken additional action to improve the program and strengthen chances of regaining visa-free access to the United Kingdom.
I believe that all things considered and the tone of the engagement with the UK government that we've had over the last several months, I'm satisfied at some point we will be able to see visa-free travel to the United Kingdom. And of course, some of the additional actions, which are not actions that they ask us for, or anybody has asked us for, but we should believe are important for the sustainability and the improvement and the transparency of the program that we are doing by ourselves. We believe that those actions will place us even a stronger position to make a case for the reintroduction of visa-free regime between Dominica and the United Kingdom. So we remain hopeful, and we continue to engage the UK government in a respectful, transparent manner.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Welcome back. Government has officially appointed a sports council as it continues to take strides in the development of athletes and sports in Dominica. The council, chaired by Mr. Billy Doctrove, is made up of citizens who have made huge contributions over the years in the development of sports.
The Sports Council has been appointed, and Mr. Billy Doctrove is the chairman, and you're quite right. There are a number of notable Dominicans on the Sports Council. I had the opportunity to meet with Mr. Billy Doctrove earlier last week, and one of the things we discussed is the Sports Council.
The Sports Council will be responsible for reviewing legislation relating to sports to ensure it is in the best interest of the athletes.
Some of the functions and the responsibilities of the Sports Council is, one, to look at the legislation, because legislation is an outdated one. I think it's 1976, and so we have assigned a draft person to them in the person of Mr. Larond, who will work with them in the redrafting or the drafting of new legislation to bring into effect the new legislation.
A new policy framework is also a priority for the Sports Council.
One of the things I discussed with Mr. Doctrove is the other thing that he can, in addition to what the Ministry of Sports said to them by letter, is the drafting of or recommending a policy framework in the interim on how you treat with persons who have to represent Dominica overseas, but who are working, even for the government, for the public service. Because while we allow people to go out to represent Dominica with no hindrances in the public service, but there has to be rules, there has to be structure. Someone can't just wake up and say, I have to go to Guadeloupe tomorrow. No, we have to be in order into the place, because arrangements must be made for your replacement, temporary, and likewise in government entities.
The policy framework will guide sportsmen and women in government and government entities.
They will be drafting some policy recommendations for us, for both for government and for government entities, and hoping that the private sector would also, as an interim measure while we wait for the legislation, to follow suit.
Meanwhile, the lighting of the Windsor Park Sports Stadium is expected to resume post-budget.
I believe that once the budget is passed, we'll be in a position to address the issue of lighting and move ahead with the contracting and get the lights going. It's an important piece of infrastructure that we need to put in place, and we look forward to finalizing the contractual arrangements with the supplier of the lights and so on, and so that we can get to that next level. Because, as you know, Dominica has become one of the preferred destinations or host nations for international cricket, and so we look forward to having those lights in place. We'll start this year for sure.
Government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has assisted the Dominica Export-Import Agency, DEXIA, with the marketing of Dominica's 2023 to 2024 Irish potato harvest. This initiative forms part of government's goal to increase the contribution of agricultural products to our gross domestic product and bring in $700 million to the country's GDP by 2030. Dexia Market Development Specialist Mr. Cleve Sejean says farmers received financing.
We collaborated with the Aid Bank and Ministry of Agriculture, and the Aid Bank provided financing to farmers who requested financing, farmers who needed monies for labor, farmers who needed monies to purchase the seeds, farmers who needed monies for inputs. And they had a special facility, and actually that facility saw approvals within 2 days. So Dexia would contract the farmers, and that is the first real concrete step from Dexia in terms of contracting the farmers, so that you have an assured market, so that the finance people are sure that you have somewhere that you will sell, and you have the confidence that you will sell. You've locked in the price, and that price was $1.50 per pound.
The Irish potato planting season ran from October 2023 to February 2024. Dexia purchased all marketable potatoes from farmers for repackaging to the local market.
In terms of repackaging, there were 50-pound bags and 10-pound bags. As you know, some households like 10-pound bags. And Basically, the whole idea is about import reduction. And so if you're doing something for import reduction, then you want to give the consumers an opportunity to access the product conveniently at the supermarkets. So the 10-pound bag, for example, is on the retail end, the 50-pound bag is on the wholesale end.
Due to improvements in production techniques, Dominicans have now accepted the Irish potatoes.
So you have the Daisy, which is the red skin potatoes, and you have the Spunta and the El Mundo, which are the white skin potatoes. I think generally Dominicans have been more accepting of the potatoes in the last couple of years, because there has been some improvement in terms of what we call the tech pack, in terms of the growing inputs and the technical part of growing the potatoes. So we've seen some development in that. And whereas people would complain and say, oh, the potatoes are very, very small, we've seen a change in that over the years. There used to be an issue in terms of curing, because some of the potatoes require some days of curing so that the flavors can be established, etc. So again, because Dexia has come into the system, we are purchasing the potatoes and we are curing the potatoes.
Government received grant funding from the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project to better equip individuals and businesses here for technology enhancement. The Digital Innovation Grant was launched in December 2023. Over 77 applications were approved, and grants are being disbursed throughout the month of July. Training and Grants Coordinator at the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project is Colin Francis.
We have approved over 77 applicants, where the total is over 950,000 EC dollars, which will be distributed over the next coming days.
Coleridge Bell, a local musician better known as Mr. Ridge Cross the Bridge, is working on a project entitled BoyoBits.com.
Basically, BoyoBits is a project that I've been working on for the past 2 years, and I've got some funding from the government to help make an online platform for all the producers and singers to make money from their music and to help them with the copyright situation when it comes to the music aspect in Dominica.
Another recipient of this grant is Fern Laurent.
I'm the proprietor of Bright Ideas Education Consultancy, and I just want to say thank you very much to Caribbean Digital Development Transformation for this grant. It will really help my business to grow so that I can deliver current literacy services to Dominica and to the region, and eventually the world.
Rowan Lazarus is founder of a digital software.
My name is Rowan Austin Lazarus. I'm the founder and CEO of Lazarus Ventures, which offers a digital software called Vouchcast, which provides an accounting and POS system for small and medium-sized enterprises. So basically, it's a system similar to QuickBooks, or most of the majority of the like POS sales system, but it was built in-house in Dominica, and basically provides medium to small businesses the opportunity to basically compete on a large global scale.
Josiah Benoit is Chief Executive Officer of Pure Blossom Life Essentials.
My name is Jeremiah Benoit. I'm the CEO and environmental engineer of Pure Blossom Life Essentials. It's a company that's focused on daily life essential use products, but also provides consultancy services in the field of environmental engineering and environmental sciences. I'm very pleased and humble, excited, and thankful to the government of Dominica and the Digital Transformation Project for approving my request. My proposal is designed to enhance our capacity in Dominica in terms of conducting environmental research, scientific research, as it relates to important environmental parameters like water quality, air quality, soil quality, etc.
The innovation grant will empower entrepreneurs in Dominica by increasing the technological aspect of their business. They will now have the opportunity to purchase software license, e-commerce websites, and IT-related equipment. Coming up next, the Creole News Highlight with Jano Jacob.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel accueil, nom Monsieur General Jacob. Ministère Santé Honorable Castanet Laville visité l'hôpital Dominica China Friendship jeudi. D'autres officiers ministre Santé étaient là aussi. Honorable Kent Edwards, secrétaire parlement en ministre Santé, parlait et puis nous compte visite là.
Aujourd'hui, nous en Central Medical Stores Dominic. Nous venons pour montrer le pays Dominic avec le public Dominic, ça qu'a fait ici. Parce que chaque fois, nous avons ici, pas jamais rien. Avec pas en place, nous avons d'huile. Nous n'avons pas de là. Nous avons compte là, nous n'avons pas là. So nous menons les gens ici pour voir ce qu'a fait ici. Parce que nous savons que Dominicains dépend en les places pour taper 8 médias. Et là, nous avons 8 médias en tous ces health centers Dominic. Nous avons 8 médias dans tous ces health centers tout partout. Avec nous savons ça, nous avons souffert. Avec ici, c'est une place qui est bien essentielle pour nous courir ici. Avec le gouvernement qui a dépensé autant d'argent tous les années pour mettre 8 mètres ici, avec pas 8 mètres tout seul. L'autre bagaille comme bandage, comme plaster, pour savoir tout bagaille qui marche bien.
L'hôpital n'a différentes qualités 8 mètres pour toute maladie.
Les nous avons dit ici, Dominique pas rien pour pressure. Nous avons tapé. Nous pouvons venir ici pour voir avec Zeno. Avec nous venir ici aujourd'hui, avec nous voir et puis Zeno, nous si faisons qualité, oui, mais pour toute qualité bagaille ici, pour prise à doux, pour pressure, nous pour toute qualité bagaille ici. Avec Ministry of Health, ministère a mettre effort pour nous mettre plus pour augmenter dans les salaires, plus l'argent en budget là pour nous ça mettre ici. Il pas au bagaille qui parfait. Mais at least nous travaillons en l'air pour nous faire tout le bagage meilleur ici. Avec Central Medical Stores, quand nous savons c'est en place qui est pour courir bien sur nous mener et puis Moonhot OICS ici plus bon en année mois janvier, ils viennent ici, ils travaillent pour nous, ils mettent des bagages en ordre pour nous et puis ils vivent actuellement pour voir ça qu'a fait.
Le gouvernement Dominique recevait l'argent pour vendre business Dominique transformé en technologie digitale. L'argent a sorti hors de World Bank, Banque La Terre. 67 business recevaient l'argent grant. Ça, c'est l'argent qui est pas pour payer via mois salaire. Le gouvernement a distribué au moins 986 000 $. Business Dominique qui ça vend produits à sur Internet. Autorité qui est responsable pour vendre et puis exporter d'Awe Dominique Dexia qui travaille pour vendre patates anglais locales. Le gouvernement voulait agriculteur mener 700 000 $ en économie Dominique pour 200 030. Nous parlons et puis Clive Saint-Jean, officier de la place d'Exia.
Nous avons 5 millions pour gagner produits. Nous avons dit pour planter parce qu'il y a l'argent. Il y a l'argent à patates blanches. Nous venons parler avec Dexia, venons parler avec le ministère de l'Agriculture. Nous qui travaillons ensemble. Variété assez désirée, El Mundo et Spunta.
Dexia a gagné toutes patates anglais hors planté.
Toutes ces plantés qui viennent à Dexia pour vendre patates blanches, nous avons gagné. Nous avons gagné, nous avons vendu pour à place là, à supermarché, à market.
Et puis, qui ces patates là, vous avez dit qu'on accepté
Si vous m'avez dit, moi, je désiré.
Parce que, désiré.
Mais ça, mais je connais patate blanche, ou patate blanche, c'est, je connais la poula blanc. La poula, ça c'est Spunta et El Mundo. Mais toutes ces patates là, c'est bon patate.
Changez-nous en temps cyclone, continuez à faire préparation. Bonne air. Ça, c'est tout à ce nouvel en Creole. Non, monsieur General Jacob. Au revoir.
That was Geno with the Creole highlights. A high-pressure system is expected to be the dominant feature across the area. Low-level clouds moving with the wind flow are expected to result in cloudy periods with a few showers throughout the day. Meanwhile, moisture ahead of an approaching tropical wave is expected to result in increased cloudiness with scattered showers and possible isolated thunderstorms. Slight to moderate seas can be expected in open water with waves peaking near 7 feet during the period. As we're in the midst of the hurricane season, it is crucial to take proactive steps to protect yourself and your family. Today's tip: allow children to pack a supply bag. including favorite toys, books, puzzles, and comforting items like a stuffed animal can provide a sense of security amidst uncertainty. This not only ensures this has a familiar item nearby, but also helps maintain a sense of normalcy in otherwise stressful situations. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Aaliyah Martin. Thank you for watching.